LegacyMaker, the all-sports network.
The place is here and the time is now. Let's take it round for round. And people gather round. Let's see who can win the crown. All the marbles involved. Football, baseball, or golf. Who's dominating the hoops? Who's talking false or the truth? Yeah, come and show me your war face. I'll show you my war face. No holds barred, so for your sake, you better show up in good shape. Valuable information is key to your domination. So focus on preparation. Online is your reputation. Here's one-on-one. You and me, ain't no fear in me. You will see. When it comes to this, you'll be wearing the number 23. In debate, I hold my weight, cause these sports I'm attached to it. Your legacy, get ready, cause I'm gonna set a match to it. Hey, burn them. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 legacy on fire. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 legacy on fire. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 legacy on fire.
This week's panel, Jay Quimby, Cody Stewart, and special guests from the Wise Guys Sports Show, Trey Larkins and Clarence Nixson. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome, and this is episode 14 of Legacy on Fire here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got more coming to you today. Very excited to be here with y'all today. We got some debates that we got to get into today. We got two special guests along with us. First of all, let's start off with the introductions. First, we got the man who is the co-founder and the co-host of the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast, Mr. Jeremiah Quimby. What's up, sir?
Just glad to be home, guys. Glad to be home.
Yes, man. Away for a couple of weeks, man. We missed you.
So got it done.
Exactly. Next, of course, he's a part of the LegacyMaker Sports Network. He's our social media guru. All things football Giants, all things Yankees, all things Rangers. I could go on and go on. The man just knows sports. Mr. Cody Stewart, what's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Let's get into this thing.
Yes. And my special guest, I'm excited about this because these are my guys right here. They are doing things big. You got to check them out. The Wise Guys Sports Show. I got my man Trey Larkins and Clarence Nixson. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Packer brother?
All day, green and gold, baby. Let's go.
All day, go Pack, go. You see how we
I'm just happy to have other people from Ohio in the show.
Oh yeah, from Ohio, yes, for sure.
Ohio
in the house. Ohio in the house tonight.
Ohio is in the building. Look, y'all. Like I said, we are
in Ohio, man.
Yes, we are super glad to have everybody on with us today. And of course, everything we do here, we start off, ladies and gentlemen, with quick takes. Now, the first quick take that we got going on today, everybody's got a minute here in quick take to get their opinion out on those topics. Now, first we got the Stanley Cup Finals. The Stanley Cup Finals is in game one. I believe game two is tonight. The Lightning won game one, but I want to hear from everybody on the panel. Want to find out who you have winning this series. And first, I'm going to start with Cody Stewart. Cody, who's going to win this Stanley Cup Final?
I see Tampa Bay going back-to-back. They won last year. I see them winning this year. I just feel it's a curse on Canadian teams right now when it comes to the NHL and Stanley Cup Finals. It hasn't been a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup Finals since 2011. It hasn't been a Canadian team to win it since 1993, which actually was the Montreal Canadiens. But as of right now, the Tampa Bay Lightning are averaging over 3 goals a game in these playoffs. And Montreal is giving up close to 3 goals a game. That is not a good mixture. I think that the Lightning pull it off in 5.
All right, Mr. Quimby, what are your thoughts on this? Who is going to win this NHL playoff?
I like the Tampa Bay just because I need them to win to start the Tampa Bay thing again. I need the Rays to go to the World Series, and I need my Bucks to win it all again.
This guy.
No, I mean, I agree. The Lightning had a tough series in the last round, but they got it done. The Canadians took out the, Vegas team who everybody underestimated when they were a team, and they won it all. So it's going to be interesting, but I agree with Cody. I think it's in 5.
All right. Now we're gonna swing over to the wise guys. First, I'm gonna start with Clarence. Clarence, who's gonna win the Stanley Cup Finals, brother?
I think I'm rolling with the Tampa Bay, the Lightning, like what Cody said, they look like the best team in this NHL, and they just been taking care of business. And honestly, I've been started watching hockey and understanding the game more and how things are played in hockey. And the first team I was watching was the Tampa Bay the Lightnings, right?
Right.
Yeah, the Lightning. So I was watching them, pretty interesting, understanding the goalie, the goal, everybody position, and I just see how they came up from years beyond, because we want to be talking about them years ago, but now they are a powerhouse team. So I'm rolling with the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Lightnings. I think they go get it done, and they go show that they're the true powerhouse in the NHL.
What about you, Trey? What do you got going on here?
We are 4 for 4 tonight, fellas. Just like you can go and get at Wendy's, 4 for 4, man. I'm rolling with the Tampa Bay Lightning as well to win the Stanley Cup. They won game 1. Impressive. 5-1 over Montreal, and on the season, the Lightning, they were 36-17-3, and they played very well, and they won last year, so they have the championship DNA to win back-to-back Stanley Cup. So I definitely see the Lightning taking care of business and getting it done overall in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't get off to a good start in that game 1. I will say that I thought that it was going to be a little bit more competitive. It was good to see. It was kind of good to see the Canadians get back in, because it's been 93 since the last time they were in there. NHL 94, the greatest hockey game of all time, hadn't quite been on the shelves fresh enough yet. But hey, see if the Canadians can pull it off. We know one Canadian, Mr. Steven Daniels. Hopefully he'll get his dream and maybe it'll come true for him in that regards. Now, the next quick take. This one I couldn't wait to get to, because I'm going to start off. You know who I'm starting off with on this one. Starting off with my man Clarence. Clarence, they draft Joe Burrow last year. Good things rolling there. We're starting to feel good stuff. And then you get Jamar Chase, you get his running buddy. Hey man, question at hand: can the Cincinnati Bengals win the AFC North?
Okay, I like how you rephrase that. I think they can win the division, and let me tell you why. Because we're playing the NFC North, which defense is not that very tough as people thought they was, and you see the chemistry in Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase they've been doing in training camp. It's like the chemistry was never going away, and you get a healthy Joe Mixon back. And you got a good defense, which is still questionable though, because Coach Lou, he made crazy decisions though, and crazy schemes though. So that's in the question too though. But this offense can be considered one of the best offenses in the league. And I think this Baltimore team has regressed on the defensive side because they let go Matt Judon and Yannick. And this Cleveland Browns team, they still have to put the pieces together. They just accepted Baker Mayfield. They picked up his 5th-year option. So if they don't come out swinging, he can be their downfall. But the Bengals, I think it's wide open for them. The AFC North is always going to be competitive.
All right.
Football, Darrell. You should know that.
You know that. You heard about the player.
It's nasty. It's physical.
No. We're going to Trey. Trey.
Yeah.
Tell me, Trey.
That's enough of you, man.
We're going to you, Trey. Tell me, can the Cincinnati Bengals win it?
You see what I got to deal with every night on the Wise Guy Show. You see what I got to deal with? This guy talking about the Cincinnati Bengals winning the AFC North. It will not happen. I believe we look at the AFC North. I do agree with Clarence that the AFC North is a tough division. It's one of the most physical divisions in the NFL. When you look at the other teams in the division, though, I think I'll give them the advantage over the Bengals. Lamar Jackson, he had the MVP 2 years ago, 36 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions, broke the rushing yards record held by Michael Vick. Last year in the postseason, he made strides, winning his first playoff game, got the Ravens to the division around the playoffs. I think they're going to be better this season. And you look at the Cleveland Browns, who I think are the favorites in the AFC North. You're led by Baker Mayfield. Last year he had 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You still got Kareem Hunt. You still, got Odell Beckham was going to be turning from an ACL injury. You still got Jarvis Landry. So they got weapons offensively. And then defensively, You still got Myles Garrett. You got Jadeveon Clowney. They signed Troy Hill, in the offseason and free agency. So I think the Cleveland Browns are the favorites in the AFC North. So I don't think the Bengals are going to necessarily.
Come on, Trey.
Okay.
There you go. You was getting there, though. You was
Okay.
getting there. I was going to give you a little bit more in there.
Go ahead,
All
go
right,
ahead.
I like the fire so far. Cody, come on, man. What we got going here? Can Cincinnati do it, brother?
Look, my bad. I need to do the Bengals like this. I'm confident in saying there is a 0% chance that they can win the AFC North. Since the divisions realigned in 2002, no team in the AFC North has ever gone from worst to first. It's never happened. It's been almost 20 years. It's never happened. You look at it, I would say, have they gotten better? Sure. The offensive line is still a question. Joe Burrow coming back is huge. I still think they should have took Penny Sewell over Jamar Chase. But I would say that they have a chance to jump the Steelers. Maybe they can finish third in the division, but the Browns and the Ravens are going to be too strong. I don't think that the Bengals can do it. But I will say they went, 4-11-1 last year. I do think there's a good chance that the Bengals could double their wins from last year for this
I'll
year.
take that.
Right at about 5.
As long as they competitive and we beat Green Bay week 5. That's all.
Whoa. What is all this? We beat Green Bay week 5 stuff. I don't know.
Right.
I
I don't
approve of that.
understand.
I
don't understand.
I've been saying this all last year.
I know. I heard you talking it. Jay, can the Bengals win this division?
No, I mean, their biggest weaknesses are the trenches. They addressed kind of. I didn't like the fact that they didn't go offensive line, like what Cody said. Tool sitting there. I know he has the hookup with Chase, but Burrow can throw to anybody. That's the thing. And then they bring in Hendricks to replace Lawson. Hendricks is only good because Cameron Hayward took the pressure off. And I just don't like the signing. The secondary is questionable besides Jesse Bates. So no, I mean, right now it's the Browns to lose, and they could finish third if Big Ben throws the ball and his arm stays attached to the ball.
Oh my!
What?
The Steelers got the best defense besides the Ravens, hands down, in that division.
All right. All right. So quick take on Cincinnati. Clarence, I think anything is possible. I'm gonna quote Kevin Garnett on that. I think anything is possible. I like Joe Burrow because I have him on my fantasy team and I got full faith in his abilities. So I need him.
Like somebody, that means they're gonna suck.
That is not true. That is not true. You know what? Whatever. We're going to go to the next quick take. Now, this one, I'm starting off with Mr. Trey Larkins. Let the Green Bay Packers move on from Aaron Rodgers. Hey, if anybody knows it's better than me, it's you, Trey. I'm going to let you start this one off.
Well, Daryl, of course not. The Green Bay Packers should not move off Aaron Rodgers. This is the reigning NFL MVP that we're talking about. Last year, Aaron Rodgers had 48 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, threw for over 4,000 passing yards, getting the Packers to back-to-back NFC championship games. You're on the brink of a Super Bowl appearance. You don't trade away your MVP quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. You figure out a way to make it work. You still got Aaron Jones, one of the top running backs in the NFL, in my opinion, especially as far as being able to catch the ball in the backfield. You still got Devontae Adams, a top 5 receiver in the NFL, a high-flying offense. You need Aaron Rodgers, at the helm if you want to still be true Super Bowl contenders. So I think the Packers, should hold on to Aaron Rodgers for dear life because after Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to go into football hell. Okay, so I think you should hold on to Aaron Rodgers because you're a Super Bowl contender and you close, this upcoming season.
All right. Clarence, I'm going to go with you next. What do you think here? Is it time for Green Bay to let go and let God?
Oh yeah. I'm not being. I don't want to sound biased. I don't want to sound low, but I think they shouldn't move on from him because they're not comfortable enough with Jordan Love being the starting quarterback. Because I feel like this situation, it's been taken as no, he wants more money. and he's not happy because he wants a better team around him. So if you let go one of the probably like their one of their top greatest quarterbacks in their organization, that Packers team is not going to be as good as they was. Like, so if you let go of him, you have to make sure you got some good insurance right here. But I think it's not the good idea for them to let him go. Finish out his contract and then let him walk, because you cut him in contract, you're gonna lose a lot of dead money. And you know, that dead money crazy, man.
Preach, brother, preach.
Man.
All right, Jay, what are your thoughts on this? Is it time for the Packers to let go and let go?
My thing, he's mad about money, but he's been with a team that won't spend money on a damn thing. He's been used to it, so why is he getting pissy now? I just think his head's got bigger than his damn helmet. He needs to stay where he's at, retire there, because, you know, they took a chance on him. He turned out to be great. He's a Hall of Famer. Do what you do. This is your last rodeo. Maybe 1 or 2 years, you're done, man.
That's a tough one. Cody, what are your thoughts on this? Oh, no, Jay, you have more?
No, I was just going to say, with Corey Lindsey going, he's going to get hit a lot.
Cody, your turn, my friend, because he's hurting my feelings right now.
I think it's time to move on. Go ahead, trade him. And I'm going to tell you why. I know it sounds crazy coming off of a career high 48 touchdowns thrown, being the NFL MVP. The last 3 years has statistically been the most efficient years for Aaron Rodgers. He's had 12,743 yards passing, 99 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and has a 32-15-1 record. He's 37 right now, about to be 38 in December. This is probably going to be the highest his value will ever be. Go ahead and move on from him. Get what you can. Start the rebuild mode, because like Jay said, Rodgers might have, another couple years left, maybe 4 max at a top level. You haven't shown that you can win a Super Bowl in the past decade. Go ahead and move on. Get what you can for him and start rebuilding.
Oh, man. All tough things for me to hear.
Me too, man. Me too, man.
The only thing I'm going to say about it before we move on to the main topics is that I think everybody's still missing the point. It's all about respect.
Exactly.
The money, yes, the money is an important part to get the respect, but it's all a leverage point. He wants the money so he can get the respect and he can stay there. The dude has ownership. He's a part. He's a part of the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Bucks. You know, he's got ownership in there. He's in stake in Green Bay. But everybody wants to see the other part. I'm telling y'all, it's not about the money. It's really about the respect. That's just where it comes down to. Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, even with the troubles, they all get what they want. That's all I got to say about it. And before we move on, before we move on to all of the great parts in the main round here, this is how it goes here on Legacy on Fire. So each panelist will have 1 minute on the topic to give their opinion. After that, each panelist will get 30 seconds to fire back and give their rebuttal about each panelist and have a chance to go there and make their opinion known of what that analyst had to say. So very excited, because we got some good ones coming up in here. The first one that we're going to start off with is the head coaching one. We've got a couple of new head coaches in the NBA. Those head coaches would be in Jason Kidd, Chauncey Billups, and I'm not even going to try to destroy my name from the Boston Celtics. I want to say Zaduka, and he is the new head coach in Boston. So the question at hand is, who will be the better head coach with their team, with their new regimes going on? This time, we're going to start off with Mr. Cody Stewart.
I'm going to go with Jason Kidd, just for the fact that he has previous experience as an NBA head coach. He was with the Brooklyn Nets, and then he went to the Milwaukee Bucks. Made the playoffs twice, and, just kind of going back down to an assistant head coaching role that kind of humbles a lot of people, and they understand, what they want to do differently on their next opportunity. So him being an assistant coach for the Lakers the past 2 years, I feel like that was a good thing for him. And you look at it now, he goes to Dallas where, they have a very talented team. Maybe it was just time for a new direction. No harm to Rick Carlisle, but maybe it's just time for them to have another voice in that locker room to lead them a different direction, a la Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr.
All right, so I got to go to Clarence because I saw the victory book in the background. Clarence, it looks like you got good feelings on this. So here's the thought. Who is that better head coach going into that new tender? Who you got?
I really have to agree with Cody though, because Jason Kidd is the perfect fit for a young point guard in Luka Doncic. And Jason Kidd, he has his roots in Dallas. He won a championship with him in 2011, so he knows the ins and outs of that Dallas Maverick organization. And teaming Luka up with a young coach and Jason Kidd will be the best pairing ever. They probably have the best relationship out of this three. I would have chose Ime Udoka though, because like he want to push Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to the superstar level that he think they are, but Luka is already playing at that superstar level, and why not have a great coach that was a point guard to come to Dallas like Jason Kidd? I think that was the perfect fit right there.
All right. Trey, I'm gonna go to you next on this one. What are your thoughts on this, man? Who out of these three, who's gonna be the better head coach?
I would say Udoka would be the best head coach because of the situation. He's going to Boston, and he has a dynamic duo with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. One of the best duos in the NBA. Also, this is a franchise in the Boston Celtics that is a championship franchise. They've won multiple championships in NBA history. I think they're right there with the Lakers as far as the most championships in NBA history. You got Brad Stevens there, who is now the new general manager in Boston, so he has some experience with this Boston Celtics team. So I believe Udoka, because of the roster construction, is in the best position to be successful amongst these other coaches, with Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups.
All right. What about you, Jay?
No, I like the Doka, however you say it. Don't want to chop it up. But I'm going to go off different because Chauncey Billups, he's got one of the best bargaining chips right now because Dame wants out. And you could send him to trade and get a plethora of picks and or talent. So it would give you a foundation to start to build a team in your vision as long as the GM works with you. So, Dame is a top 5 player, in my opinion. He can turn it on and be done.
What you say, top 5? Dame.
I would like to see them send him to the Celtics and get Kemba and possibly Tatum. I love Tatum.
I know you love Tatum. All right. So, Cody, this is your chance, brother. This is your chance to fire back. What are your thoughts on this? Anything you want to fire back on here?
I would love to see Chauncey Billups in Portland teaming up with Dame. But to Jay's point, if they turn around and trade Dame, there's no such thing in the majority of trades in any league that there's an even trade. So even if they trade Dame and they get all of these picks, you got to do something with it. And we've seen the NBA lives of these head coaches. They don't last long. So they trade Dame and they have 2 bad years. Chauncey's probably out quick.
Agree.
All right. We're going to go with Clarence. Your chance to fire back, brother. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Cody about that. Because if Chauncey is taking over as the new head coach and stuff, you got to expect Dame Dollar to be back and be playing. Because if you trade him, he has a 2-year window to find his franchise leader, and if he don't find his franchise leader, our eyes going to be turned back on him and decide then what are you here for? So if Chauncey can convince Dame to hey, we can build this team up.
All right, Trey, what do you got for me? I know this is a little close to your heart. So
Yeah,
what you got here for me?
I disagree. I don't think the pressure is on Chauncey Billups like they think it is, because even if you do let Dame Lillard go, you're going to trade Damian Lillard for some young assets. And there have been rumors about Damian Lillard possibly going to the Knicks. If you trade Damian Lillard to the Knicks, you get an RJ Barrett back. You get a Quickly. If you get Toppin, you got some players that you can build around in Portland. This is a team and the Portland Trailblazers, it's not a free agent destination. So if you lose Damian Lillard, you want to get some. Oh, damn.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
But you working there. You working there. Now I'm gonna let you get that last second out, Trey. What was that last thing you wanted to say?
Yeah, if you're in Portland, you got to build your team around young assets because there's not a free agent destination. So if you lose Damian Lillard, I think the front office would be understanding that it's going to take Chauncey Billups some time to get this Portland Trailblazers team back to their ultimate goal and being a competitor in the postseason if you lose Dame Dollar.
All right, Jay, your chance to fire back.
I'm gonna go. I don't like what they're doing in Boston just because when Danny Ainge was there, I mean, he was a mastermind. Brad Stevens, I'm not gonna say he's bad because we haven't seen what he's done. But if they trade anybody besides Kemba, like Brown, I mean, that's dumb. Those are people that you brought in because you wanted to do it. Don't send Kemba for like a bubble game or something.
All right. So everybody had a chance to fire back, get things going on that one. So very interesting topic. I mean, for me, I'm just gonna toss in real quick. I just want to see Billups do well. I've always been a big shot. I always love Billups, so I want to see him do well in Portland. But it's not looking good with the whole Dame situation. I'm hoping that kind of turns around there in that situation. And speaking of Dame, I guess we might as well stick with Dame on this one. And we're hearing the rumor. We're hearing that Dame, maybe wanted out of Portland. Now we don't know if this is actually going to truly happen because we've heard that he's been loyal to the team. He wants to be loyal to the team, but there's got to be some frustration. So the question at hand is Dame Lillard, is it time for a divorce from the Portland Trailblazers? And I'm going to start this one off with Trey because like I said, I know this one is a little bit near and dear to your heart. So I'm going to start this one off with you. And
the floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, I think it took some time for me to come to this, Daryl. But I think it is time for Dame Dollar to get out of Portland because you look at Damian Lillard, he's averaged 29 points per game. Last year on 45% shooting from the floor. Damian Lillard is a superstar. Make no mistake about it. I agree with my man. I think he's a top 5 talent, arguably top 10 player in the NBA. And if you want to win a championship, you want to go to a bigger market so that way you can get other free agents to come and play with you like in LA, like in New York. So I think it is time for Damian Lillard to try to get his way up out of Portland. That way he can win a championship and not, be remembered like Allen Iverson, who did win a championship. I love AI, but he didn't get one. And, like Karl Malone, you want to win a championship to elevate your legacy. I think Damian Lillard needs to get out of Portland to make that happen.
All right. Clarence, I'm going to you next. Thoughts on this one, man? Like, is it time for the divorce in Portland?
It's definitely time for the divorce. And Trey, them two guys that you named, they won MVP, something that Dame couldn't do in Portland. I just think though, y'all, Dame gave his all to Portland. He gave all, they try to build the teams over the years with him. And I would have really loved him, Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, LaMarcus Aldridge, that ever to happen. They probably could have won a championship though, but he gave his all. He made the playoffs every year with them at least, and he got them to two couple Western Conference Finals. Yeah. So I feel like he put the work in there though to try to fight for a championship team. Now it's time for a change. Like, hey, you try to win them a championship. Now it's time for you to move on and go to another organization so you can help them win a championship.
All right, Jay, what about you on this one, man? Is it time for the divorce in Portland?
Oh, absolutely. He's 30 years old. I'm not saying, he can't play for another 5 years, but that's that number in the sports where you see the he's peak value, get what you can from. Hell, throw CJ in there and just start from the ground up.
All right. What about you, Cody? What are your thoughts on this?
File those divorce papers, man. It's time for a split. And here's my thing. And I know I've been one where I've always preached loyalty when it comes to a lot of NBA stars staying with the team that may have drafted them to build something. In this case, I'm preaching the absolute opposite. It's time for Dame to start being selfish instead of selfless. It's time for him to move on. It's time for him to find a team that is going to take him further than the first or maybe even second round of the playoffs. And when I sit back and think about what teams could go after him, I truly don't feel like the Lakers would have much to offer, so I don't think that would happen. I really only see two teams that can make it work as far as making it as even of a trade as possible, and that's the Celtics, maybe trading Jaylen Brown and some picks. And also, how about the Denver Nuggets, MPJ and Jamal Murray for Dame?
Man, I like some of them trades that you were throwing out there. Now, Cody, I want to say this to you quick. In the last segment, I heard Trey said something about RJ Barrett, and you made a facial expression. Now, I know you're a Knicks fan. Would you like to see that happen?
Oh, I would love Dame. I'd love Dame. I just, for the sake of argument on what he said, RJ and Quickly and some picks, it's not an even trade in my opinion. It's like Dame is a 10. Those two combined are like a 6. I don't think that they could really build around those two guys. They're more role players than anything.
Can I respond?
Yeah, actually, go ahead. This is your chance to fire back. Go ahead.
I disagree with you because I feel like if you're the Portland Trailblazers, beggars can't be choosers. So if Dame Lillard voices his frustration, he wants to get out of Portland, then that forces the Portland Trailblazers to make a trade, with a team of his choice. If he says he want to go to New York, you have to trade and get those young assets because, you have no choice. You have no leverage once Dame announces he wants, out of Portland. So I disagree. If you can get back to RJ Barrett, get back a Quickly, those are nice pieces to build around because Damian Lillard's going to leave anyway once his opportunity comes up in free agency.
All right, Clarence, what are your thoughts on this? You want to fire back?
I think in that situation, if the Portland Trail Blazers was trading for the Knicks, I think you will have to toss somebody up like a Obi Toppin and Quickly because RJ, I ain't gonna lie, RJ Barrett was one of the best defensive players in the NBA in this last season, and he's still growing. He's very young, and you can grow with him. If you pair up a Dame with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, if it's possible, I think that would make that Knicks team powerful on defense because the Portland Trailblazers, they were struggling on defense as it is. So I think it's fair they need to get a divorce, and if the Knicks is the best opportunity, gotta get them.
All right. What about you, Jay? What are your thoughts on that? Fire back.
I would love to see him go to Knicks, but I think you get Barrett, Toppin, and then at least 1 or 2 more first-round picks just to make it square.
I can see that. Now, Cody, I didn't give you a fair chance to fire back on that last. I'll give you this chance to fire back before we head on to the next topic.
Quickly say to the point of the Knicks trade. What happened?
You froze, brother. It was funny.
You froze. You thought you were angry, bro.
To the point of the Knicks trade, though, I definitely understand what you're saying, Trey, with the whole, if he wants to go to New York, yeah, they have to get what they can get. But if I'm looking at a trade, a fair trade, it's going to be RJ Barrett, Quickly, Mitchell Robinson, and probably 2 to 3 first-round picks.
I like Mitchell.
Get Dame to New York.
Whole team. That's the whole team. That's the whole team. Whole team gone. Now,
what you got? Oh,
my whole thing is I would say I would like to see him go to New York would probably be a really good spot. Now, as a Miami Heat fan, I heard Miami, but when I heard they were trying to give away Bam, I was like, no. I was like, I'm good. I love Dame. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to give up Bam.
Mr. Owens, can we fire back on you?
Yes, of course.
Okay. If you get an opportunity to team up Damian Lillard and Jimmy Butler down in South Beach, I love Bam as well, but Bam is not a superstar. Damian Lillard is a superstar. Bam ain't no superstar. What? Not yet. Hold on, relax. He's not a superstar yet. Damian Lillard is a proven superstar. You team him up with a Jimmy Butler in a franchise like Miami and South Beach with Pat Riley and Eric
I know. It sounds beautiful.
They are true championship contenders in the Eastern Conference.
It sounds beautiful. I just don't want to. I'll give you Hero. You can have Duncan. And I put in Dragic and some socks.
Jarrell, did you read the
Trade
Telegraph thing?
I'm getting
where
down
it's cut
trade.
out
Bam,
where
Bam
there's
gotta go. What? Bam gotta go for Dame Dollar.
talk that you
What
guys
did you
are
say?
coming after
No.
Kevin Love?
I don't want Kevin Love neither.
No,
Who wants
I
Kevin
want
Love?
to give
The
you
USA
team. Kevin
I
Love.
will give you Kevin Love in a crisp high-five.
Everybody's trying to like, look, Cleveland been trying to get rid of Kevin Love since LeBron was there. And
Now,
so,
who on this panel is a Knicks fan?
that would be Cody.
Cody. Amari Stoudemire came to New York, signed with the Knicks.
Hey, bro, we don't need to speak about all this stuff. We don't even have to do this.
Joakim Noah.
Man, that was
if the Heat can
bro.
trade for
Amari there, you bring in Carmelo a couple years later. That was supposed to be the team, and
Someone who I think the Blazers should try to trade for though. If Dame decides to stay in Portland, I think they should try and trade for Karl Anthony Towns.
Look, Minnesota's a dumpster fire.
Minnesota want Ben Simmons.
I saw that. Please don't. Boy, I tell you what, if they do that, that's going to be something interesting to see. I can definitely tell
Like
you.
you said already, they're dumpster fire, Mr. Owen. So
Hey,
dumpster fire.
I can't see it. Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, now we're swinging on to our next topic, our last topic of the main topics. Hall of Famers. All right, so
Why you gotta put Barry Bonds up there? Damn.
What do you mean? Hey, look, I needed a guy up here that would definitely, make sense for what we're about to discuss here. So I want everybody on the panel. I want everybody on the panel to give me somebody who's not in the Hall of Fame. This could be in any sport that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. That may have been passed by it. Who deserves that shot to be in the Hall of Fame? And I'm going to start this one off with Mr. Jeremiah Quimby on this one. So, Jay, who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame that's not in the Hall of Fame?
See, I really want to say Pete Rose. The man's gotten old. He's, gambling is now legal. Let the man in. He's one of the best players ever. Charlie Hustle. But, they're not going to do it. So I'm going to go with football and say Roy Butler. Keep it basketball. This is bullshit. Okay? Let's see. 4 Pro Bowls, 4 All-Pros, 1 Super Bowl, 38 INTs, 11 years? Or 9 years, I apologize. Great guy, hell of a human being, a great rampant. I can't even say that. Say a word for me. Ramp. Whatever.
Philanthropist?
There you go.
He was trying to get it.
I don't speak well. Why is the man not in? I love John Lynch. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, but their numbers are very similar. Butler should have been in before Lynch.
See, all right, and I'm gonna throw this in real quick before we move on to the next person. He's the only person on the 90s all-decade team not to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying. Cody, give me yours, brother. Who should be in the Hall of Fame? Give me that one player.
the man that you showed on the screen when you brought up this topic, Barry Bonds. I don't care what you say about Clarence. Listen, the game of baseball cannot be told without mentioning Barry Bonds. It's that simple. This man is the all-time home run leader with 762. Single season home run leader back in 2001 with 73, 7-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, and ranked second all-time on multi-home run games with 71, one behind Babe Ruth. It's Barry Bonds, man. Like, this guy, like I said, you cannot talk about baseball. You cannot give the history of the Major League Baseball without talking about Barry Bonds. He should be in there.
I love it. Jay left the screen completely. Soon as you said Barry Bonds, Jay said nope and took right on to the side. All right, I'm going to go with Trey on this one. Trey, who should be in the Hall of Fame that is not in the Hall of Fame right now?
I'm going back to the greatest show on turf in St. Louis there. I'm going with Torrey Holt. When you talk about the greatest show on turf, everybody gives credit to Isaac Bruce, you know, the star receiver, for the St. Louis Rams at the time. They give credit to Marshall Faulk, one of the greatest running backs in NFL history. And they always give credit to Mr. Kurt Warner. We forget about how great Torrey Holt was on that Rams team. He became eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2015. During an 8-year span, he averaged 95 receptions, over 1,400 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 Pro Bowl selections during that 8-year span in his career. He has 11 in his career, 11 seasons. Torrey Holt has 920 receptions, over 13,000 receiving yards, 74 touchdowns, made the Pro Bowl 7 times, led the NFL in receiving yards twice, once in 2000, once in 2003, and he had at least 1,000 yards receiving in each of his seasons from 2000 to 2007. So I think Torrey Holt deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I like that. I can't disagree with that at all. What about you, Clarence? Who should be in the Hall of Fame, in your opinion, that's not in there right now?
Okay, I don't want to be biased and all that because I'm the hometown.
Oh, don't do it.
Listen.
Where he's going with
And
it?
it's not that. It's like all serious guys, y'all. I feel like Ken Rowley, the longtime Bengals corner, he should be in the Hall of Fame. That's a no-brainer. Let me tell you why. Because he's fifth. He's fifth in all time in interceptions. He was a key piece for the Cincinnati Bengals. I know I'm too young to be talking about Ken Rowley though, but his history lived through Cincinnati. It's a shame that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Like he's not a Hall of Fame or the Bengals Ring of Honor, because I was trying to vote for the Bengals Ring of Honor and he gets my vote. I mean, you're fifth all time in interceptions. That's from a Bengals, so that feels good. I think Ken Rowley should be in the Hall of Fame. He should get in the Hall of Fame without even getting no votes in, because he impacted the black culture in Cincinnati.
You gotta get votes to get in the Hall of Fame.
I know though, but he should just get
You got to get those to get in the Hall of Fame. I like that. All right. Hey, I'm going to give you your chance to fire back here. You heard some really good ones on this one. What are your thoughts on this?
Barry Bonds, the king of the steroid era. I know the steroids didn't hit the baseballs for him, but what the hell? The man's head size is like 2 watermelons together. If you look where he was in Pittsburgh and to where he was in San Francisco, you can tell the transformation. No. If he gets in, it better be asterisk, steroids, Barry Bonds.
All right, Cody, your chance to fire back on this.
Well, to the whole size comparison thing, Mike Trout was a rail when he got to the Angels, and this dude is bulked up like crazy, and they're pretty sure he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So should he not be in as well? I'm just saying that you didn't hear what I said, but you can't tell the game of baseball without talking about Barry Bonds. Like, just imagine the all-time home run leader. Imagine not having the all-time passing yards leader in the NFL not in the Hall of Fame. Won't ever happen. Barry Bonds needs to be in.
All right. Trey, I'm going to you on this one. Your chance to fire back.
I agree. I think Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I know you got all the steroid accusations on Barry Bonds. I know.
Oh, I think his voice disappeared.
We can't hear you. Hello.
I think your sound went out, brother.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You're back.
Okay, we there?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can basically tell the story, about talking about baseball greats without including Barry Bonds in that conversation. I just think he was an outstanding baseball player overall, and I think the steroids era and him being involved, kind of makes you overlook how great of a player he was.
All right, Clarence, what are your thoughts here? Chance to fire back on any of these?
I agree with Jay and Cody. You know what I'm saying? I understand the steroids accusation went too far though, but everybody in America deserves a second chance. He's an all-time greater of home runs and stuff. Why you don't have him in the Hall of Fame? His name should be mentioned all over the world. All over the world, considering the fact he set the record in most home runs. So him not being in the Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds not being in the Hall of Fame is just ridiculous. What Stephen A. say? Vasectomy. Blasphemy. I say blasphemy.
He said the vasectomy. I love it. That's great.
Hey,
those are all really good. Yeah.
I want to say one more thing.
Do anybody want to fire back on my Hall of Fame snub, Torrey Holt?
What about that? Anybody want to fire back on that?
I
agree with it.
Say real quick to what you said about Barry Bonds in Pittsburgh, Barry Bonds in San Francisco. Barry Bonds won 2 MVPs in Pittsburgh. So you can even scratch out what he did in San Francisco. Somebody who has 2 MVPs in any sports profession, more than likely guaranteed to be in the Hall of Fame.
And that's why I said he didn't, the steroids didn't hit the ball. That was all Barry. I will give you that. But the steroids gave him the ability to play maybe longer and possibly heal quicker from an injury.
All right. Now, I will say now, Trey, I have no problems with Torrey Holt being in the in there at all. And I will say, Clarence, I thought you were going to say Chad Johnson. I'm not going to lie to you. I was waiting for you to drop the Chad in there, and that's what I was waiting for.
they doing Chad wrong, man. I don't want to be too controversial. He go get in.
He gonna get his time to shine. All right, everybody. Now it's time for one of my favorite segments on the show.
Fire, 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 burn on. Fire, 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 burn on. Fire, 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 legacy on fire.
All right, now it is time for everyone to put out the fire. Everybody's gonna get a minute on a sports topic that they got to get off their chest. It's just something that's burning them inside. They got to get off of their chest. Tired of hearing about it. Got to get it off of their chest. And I'm going to start this one off with Mr. Quimby.
Okay. Hector Santiago, you jackass. You know that they're searching every picture out there, and they let me bring some pine tar out in my glove. Really?
It's stupid.
Are you licking windows? What the hell, dude? It's the only thing this guy's gonna remember for is he sucks as a pitcher. So, come get it together, man. Damn.
That one kind of hurts my feelings a little bit, especially because he's a Mariner. But that just doesn't. I mean, that's what else can I expect on that?
It's the truth. It's the truth.
What can I expect on that? I can't expect anything else. So, Cody, your chance to put out the fire, sir.
All right, so this really isn't putting out any fire, but these are some interesting stats I wanted to definitely mention to you, Darrell, in regards to Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Cover your Trey.
Follow me when I say. I gave you all that 3-year stretch from 2018 to 2020, what his stats were. So he's had, as a total, 3 different times where he's had 3 almost identical 3-year stretches. So, mentioned, like I said, 2018 to 2020, 12,743 yards, 99 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 2010 to 2012, 1,286 yards passing, 112 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. 2014 to 2016, 12,630 yards passing, 110 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Very identical, right? Well, here's the kicker. The 2010 to 2012 stretch, that very next year, he missed 7 games to injury. The 2014 to 2016 stretch in 2017. No. History is saying he might.
No. You will not get that on you. You will not put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Do you understand me? You will not put that evil on me. Come on, man. God. Oh, that hurts my feelings.
Right? Thank you, Cody. Thank you.
Why would you even? You know what? I cannot believe. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go to Clarence. Clarence, to put out the fire, man. Give me something because it's breaking my heart right now.
Yeah. Can I switch it? All right. This one I'm tired of hearing from all debates. Everybody listening? I'm so tired of everybody keep saying that Anthony Davis is better than Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, stop! Don't do this.
Hey,
Don't do this.
Hey,
no.
Yes, sir.
AD has nothing on Giannis. Stop! I want everybody to stop saying AD is better than Giannis. Yes, he got a good skill set, but he doesn't impact the game as Giannis, man. AD is not on Giannis level. AD is a second second option to a championship team. Giannis is a first. He's a first. And you've seen it all through the playoffs, man. I'm sick of everybody saying that Giannis is not this and that. Giannis been leading his team ever since he got the green light. And he's definitely better than AD.
Hey, real quick, before I go, Dory, I gotta say this real quick because he always want to talk about how great Giannis is. I respect the hell out of Giannis. Two-time NBA MVP, one of the best defensive players in the NBA. But on that Milwaukee Bucks team, in the fourth quarter, in closing moments, Chris Middleton is the Batman and Giannis is the Robin.
Dang, you put up the Perkins. Oh no!
Like, come on, man. Superman.
Where was Middleton yesterday? Where was Middleton yesterday?
Hey, no, look, hey, I said in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about the fourth quarter. As an overall player, of course, Giannis is better than Chris Middleton. I'm talking about in closing moments, we know who the Batman is in the Milwaukee Bucks team. And it ain't Giannis.
I love it.
AD been to Giannis on every team. Man, AD been there Robin on every team he played on, man.
All righty, Trey. This is your chance to put out the fire, brother.
It's on me?
It's on you.
Okay, for me, I'm going to switch sports to the NFL. I am tired of the media and fans pretending like Patrick Mahomes is significantly better than Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson, if you put Deshaun Watson on that Kansas City Chiefs team with Tyreek Hill, with Travis Kelce, with Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, Deshaun Watson will also have a few MVPs on his resume, will also have a Super Bowl win on his resume as well. Deshaun Watson being in Houston, he's for his career, 104 touchdowns, just 36 interceptions, completed 70% of his passes last year. Overall, in his career, Deshaun Watson has never had a supporting cast that Patrick Mahomes has at Kansas City. And I go back to even in his college days, when he was at the University of Clemson with Dabo. Deshaun Watson led the Clemson Tigers to the national championship game back-to-back years against Nick Saban. Okay, Deshaun Watson is big time, and I think Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes are more closer than the media and fans, give overall. Like, I think there are two players that are neck and neck, but Patrick Mahomes gets all the accolades and all the publicity because he's in a great organization.
He's not better than Lamar Jackson.
He's not better than Lamar?
Deshaun Watson.
Man, I can't go that far, Clarence. I can't look. Let me tell you something. Look, Deshaun Watson is, in my opinion, way better than Lamar Jackson.
Way better. He's not way better.
He's better than him. That's just me, though.
He's way better now.
He's way better. He's way better.
So what if I don't know about that. I don't know.
Hold on. Let me ask my co-host. So far in their careers, let's talk about Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. Who's had the better coach? Oh, it ain't about the better coach. No, wait a minute. Who's had the better coach? Lamar, right? Okay. Lamar's had the better coach. Who's in the better organization? Man. Who got more playoff wins in the last 5 games? Don't do that. Who's a better pocket passer? Lamar or Deshaun? I'll wait.
Deshaun.
I'm sorry, Clarence.
Lamar or Deshaun?
Like, come on, man. Come on. I love Lamar. Lamar is great. He won NFL MVP. I love his story because he was an underdog coming into the NFL. Had a lot of doubters. I love Lamar Jackson, and I love what he brings to the table. But he is not a better overall quarterback than Deshaun Watson. Your job as a quarterback is to throw the ball down the field accurately. He doesn't deliver the ball down the field better than Deshaun Watson.
He had no wide receivers out, right?
He got the wide receivers now.
So who is Deshaun had? Since DeAndre Hopkins since he left. That was it. Brandon Cook. That goes to my point about why I think,
and Kenny Stills in his wheelchair.
Nobody.
I will say, it was a little rough last year for Deshaun because everybody on that squad, the receiver squad, was hurt at least a couple weeks at a time. So, and he somehow still was the 4th ranked receiver quarterback in fantasy. So I will give him that.
Mr. Owens, last year he had 33 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions, threw for close to 5,000 passing yards with nobodies at receiver. Nobody.
I can't disagree with that.
Now wait, the Packers fan.
And less interceptions.
What'd you say?
Would you be okay with Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson trade?
Ask that one more time.
Deshaun Watson for Aaron Rodgers, would you be cool for it?
Oh yes. But hey, now let me tell you something right now.
He's lying.
No, wait a minute. I love Aaron Rodgers. Deshaun Watson is younger, and he's a great pocket passer, just like Aaron Rodgers is. He also is mobile, just like Aaron Rodgers is. If you get your hands on Deshaun Watson, you do that in a heartbeat if you bring that back. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've thought about this thing myself, and if I can get a younger quarterback that's going to lead me for the next 10 to 15 years, I gotta say yes.
You say
You gotta take it, right?
Jones for Aaron Rodgers. Let's go, baby.
Oh my God. Okay, all right.
Daniel Jones for Aaron Rodgers, straight up.
No, Daniel Jones?
No.
Right.
No.
That's it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put out the fire here. And mine really is not a big time put out the fire, but all I want to say in my put out the fire time is please put Steve McNair into the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Steve Air McNair was one of the exciting quarterbacks, probably one of the tough. Bump that. In my opinion, he was probably the toughest quarterback of all time. Man, he was just so tough on the football field. And that year that he won the MVP and they split it with Peyton Manning, which I felt was disrespectful to him. That was his MVP. They should have never shared the MVP.
I'll say it for you. It's bullshit.
Right. Thank you, sir. He should have won that MVP by himself. He was a foot away from winning the Super Bowl. And just him as a player just changed the culture. And, to be honest with you, when black quarterbacks, yes, you got your Randall Cunningham, you got your Donovan McNabb, but there was something special about Steve Air McNair. He's my favorite quarterback all time. Get him in the Hall of Fame.
I agree with that.
That's what I
agree with that.
Absolutely.
I got. Can we go in a few more minutes? I got one more.
If everybody else is cool, is anybody else cool?
Yeah, we get going for a few more minutes.
Okay. I got one for y'all. Okay. I want to switch back to the NBA. I'm going to make a statement, and I want to know if y'all agree or disagree. Everyone on the panel. But let me break it down why I believe this is the case.
Look at Clarence. Hit him with the.
So, a lot of people believe that when you talk about greatest of all time in the NBA, most people believe after MJ, it's LeBron James, right? We all agree with that? That's what most people say.
Most people.
Okay. I believe that Kobe Bryant is closer to MJ, if not better, than LeBron James.
I agree.
We always talk about the GOAT, and oh my God, it's LeBron, it's MJ. I think Kobe Bryant deserves to be in that GOAT conversation ahead of LeBron James.
I'm going to
the Black Mamba. We're talking about Kobe Bryant for his career. He's averaged 25 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 5 assists, 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP. NBA Most Valuable Player in 2008. Like in those Laker runs, Kobe
still got his hand up.
In those Laker teams with Kobe and Shaq, you can make an argument that Kobe was the reason why the Lakers won back-to-back championships. Kobe Bryant is closer to Michael Jordan than LeBron James is. RIP to the Black Mamba. Give him his flowers. I just think it's disrespect, that we throw in Kobe's direction when we just always talk about LeBron and never Kobe.
Cody's got his hand up. Cody, I need to tell me, brother, what you feeling?
I want to ask real quick. When you say Kobe is closer to MJ, are you just talking about playing style, or are you saying it's MJ's the GOAT, Kobe's number 2?
I think your sound went. Your sound went. Your sound is gone.
We can't hear you.
No.
No hablo inglés.
No habla inglés. Your sound. I can hear you. Can you hear me? We can't. Oh no, the sound is gone. So look, all I'm going to say is this. I guess we're going to have to roll on off of here for this episode of Legacy on Fire. But
it's like, don't make this shit work.
Look, we want to thank everybody for coming on. Our man Clarence, our man Trey, Cody, Stewart, Jay Quimby, we thank you all for coming on for episode 14. Cody, your facial expression was priceless.
There.
As always,
Yeah, okay, we're good.
We back.
we good.
Let me ask my question again. So,
Hey, answer questions, Cody.
when you said Kobe is closer to MJ, are you saying he's closer to MJ in regards to playing style, or are you saying MJ's the GOAT, Kobe is number 2?
I believe that Kobe and Jordan are on the same level. Like, huh?
No. Look, we all know Kobe. He designed his game after MJ. It's no secret about that. I believe in regards to just the eye test, looking at it, Kobe reminds us more of MJ than anybody else. But in regards to playing, in regards to accomplishment, as an overall player, if you don't have LeBron James in your top 2, nah, bro, you got it wrong. And look, I'm saying MJ is the GOAT. There's no doubt about it. There's no way that the only argument anybody has against LeBron is, he's gone like 4-6 in regards to championships. This dude is a beast on defense, rebounds, assists, scoring, everything, bro. I think literally every category in regards to outside like 3-point shooting, and free throw shooting, he more than likely beats Kobe in that.
Okay. Let me rebuttal that. I respect the hell out of LeBron James, and I agree with you. Statistically, LeBron is going to lead in every category when it's all said and done. But it's a few things that Kobe is better than LeBron, in my opinion, overall. We break down the game of basketball. Kobe's a better free throw shooter. Kobe's a better shooter overall from the perimeter. He's a better shooter overall than LeBron is.
Okay.
Also, he's a better defensive player. Kobe made our defensive team 12 times in his career. LeBron made it, I believe, like 8 or 9 times. 9, okay. LeBron 9, Kobe 12. So, and I think, like, as a closer, it's not even close. Like, Kobe's a closer. And LeBron, in my opinion, as great as he is, he's never been known as being a closer. He's a great facilitator. Like, he gets others around him involved. But I think when you're talking about being a closer and taking on that, that responsibility of saying, give me the ball and get the hell out of the way, nobody is greater than Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. I love LeBron James.
Somebody else is a great closer? Somebody else is a great closer?
Soft. He was calling people soft.
Somebody else a great closer. Big shot Robert Horry. He's not better than them two. I mean, I don't believe that being a closer means you're better than somebody overall. It just means that you're more clutch. That's cool, but it's no comparison, bro. It's Kobe's a top 10 player.
Top 10?
You can possibly put him top 5, but he's not better than LeBron.
Let me ask you a question.
He's not better.
Who had the better supporting cast in their career? Because I remember LeBron James. I remember what?
Hey.
No,
All I have to do is say Shaq. I don't care Chris Bosh defense. I don't care about that. Shaq probably the best big ever to play. Nah, bro, argument over.
Hey,
wait.
I love Shaq. Shaq is great.
Jay, what you got, Jay? What you got?
Okay,
you got?
go ahead.
Now I'm saying, how many times did Kobe leave a team to go play with other people he could win a championship compared to LeBron's bitch ass?
Exactly. And on top of that, Kobe Bryant never had to leave Los Angeles. Yes, he did have Shaq on his team. Shaq is one of the most dominant players in NBA history. But there were times where Shaq came to camp overweight, out of shape. That's why Kobe had issues with Shaq. But when you look at LeBron James, his supporting cast, he goes to South Beach and teams up with the Finals MVP, a top 10 player, a perennial All-Star in Chris Bosh, and then they had the nerve to add Ray Allen. They had the nerve to add one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Then he goes to Cleveland, teams up with one of the skilled players in NBA history, and Kyrie Irving, the most entertaining player in the NBA. Then they brought in Kevin Love, another perennial All-Star. Then he goes to LA. He brings Anthony Davis to LA. Anthony Davis is a top 5 player, arguably, in the NBA. Who did Kobe play with after Shaq left LA? Paul Gasol?
Paul Gasol's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. What?
You're trying to make this fix the narrative. The disrespect to Paul Gasol?
Paul Gasol was questionable. So who better? Paul Gasol or Chris Bosh? I'll wait.
I would say Gasol over, and I'm a box guy.
Chris Bosh in Toronto. After that, his career went down, bro.
Yeah, he took a step back.
Like, the only reason Chris Bosh looks that good is because he was on a Toronto team that had nothing. He was the only guy.
Okay, but listen, look at the Lakers, right? Look at the Lakers. They won a championship with Trevor Ariza. You know, like who else is on that team? They got Paul Gasol. Roddy never played.
Who were the main focus, and then they surrounded them with role players that did their job. Like, bro, I understand the whole LeBron laughing he teamed up with this guy. I get it. That was for him to try to win championships. I get it, but we're talking about the game of basketball, bro. You put LeBron on the court, he's better than Kobe, dog. He's better.
All right, now, before we finish this up, I got here for Clarence because, Clarence, I saw you in the back shaking. I'm going to finish this one up with you, Clarence. In this debate right now, brother. In this debate.
Well, I was going to let you end it, Darrell, but I'm just telling I keep trying to tell you. Kobe is one of the greatest shooting guards, but he's not close to MJ as LeBron is, man. Like the things LeBron did in his career in 8-9 straight NBA finals. Kobe went to 3 straight, but LeBron took it to a whole nother level. Yes, he still lost though, but he got the expectation right now in the NBA. Like, hey, if you can't make it to an NBA finals or a consistent NBA finals, like your career won't be nothing on me. Like that's what KD is dealing with right now. Like Kobe, I understand Kobe led. You keep talking about he got to the finals. He got to the finals in the Eastern Conference. That was a recon. It doesn't matter. Kobe played in the tough Western Conference. You know, going up against Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash. You know, like Kobe played against some stiff competition in the Western Conference. Let me say this: LeBron played with some good young players that's coming up. That's in the league. That's coming up good right now, like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. But LeBron James played. He did great things in the playoffs. Okay, who's more skillful, LeBron or Kobe? I'll wait. Everybody on the panel answer. Who's more skillful, LeBron or Kobe?
Kobe.
Who's a better free throw shooter? We'll start off with that.
I would go Kobe.
Yeah, sure.
Kobe, yeah.
Who's the better rebounder? Who's the better dribbler? Who's the better?
Who a better 3-point shooter?
I mean, who's the better driver?
Kobe.
I love it.
Attacking the basket. Who's a better all-around scorer? Kobe.
Kobe. I'm going with Kobe. I would trust, in my opinion, I would take Kobe. If I was on the line with something, I'm taking Kobe. And yes, Kobe won me championship. Like, now I'm going with Kobe.
Kobe's shot was almost like Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball swing. It was just beautiful and smooth.
LeBron go guarantee
and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure on this, but I believe in Phil Jackson's book, he talked about how Kobe made more tougher shots than MJ. That's Kobe. Like I believe that. I don't know if I'm right. I haven't read Phil Jackson's book, but I believe he said he made more tougher shots than Michael Jordan.
Let me ask you this real quick. Who's the best quarterback to ever play the game of football?
The best quarterback.
The best.
Yeah.
I don't want to comment on this because
I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Okay. I'm ready.
No, go ahead. Who?
Red Johnson.
I'm not talking about accomplishments. You just talking about best, right?
Who's the best?
Aaron Rodgers.
I knew he was going to say I knew it.
Aaron Rodgers. What was the question again? Who's the best
quarterback of all time?
Uncle Rico.
And I think Patrick Mahomes is next. Because when I hear best, I'm not thinking about most accomplished. I'm thinking about who's the best as far as skill set, not accomplishments.
I would say Peyton Manning. That would be me.
This is what I'm tying into. You were saying Phil Jackson said Kobe made more tougher shots. I guarantee you, whoever everybody's GOAT quarterback is on this panel, I guarantee you there's a quarterback out there that's made tougher throws than that quarterback. So does that make them the better player? No, it doesn't.
Potato, potato.
That means nothing.
I get what you're saying.
Burrow up next.
Burrow up next for sure.
Mr.
All
Owens.
right. I think we have fired it out for this one. We have fired it out. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. This was great, y'all. You gave me such a giggle here at the end. I love the passion. That's what Legacy is on fire is all about. It's about the hashtag debate to be great. That Kobe, that extra Kobe session got me pumped up right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So look, before we get off of here, Jay, is there anything you want to say?
Everybody, God bless. And guys, I appreciate having you on. It's been a blast.
Thanks, man.
What about you, Cody? Anything you want to say?
I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep now because I'm fired up. So
now, from the Wise Guys, first of all, fellas, thank you for coming on. Shout out your show. Let everybody know where they can find you. And then, give us anything you got to go before you get out of here.
Well, you can find us on the Worldwide Sports Network every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday and Wednesdays, we on from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. On Fridays, we on from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. You can follow us on Twitter at WiseGuys_OH. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys, and then on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. And before we get out of here, last thing I want to say is I love doing this with you guys. We got to do it again for sure.
Most definitely. This was a lot of fun. It was funny. We was cruising, and then right at the end, it was like, bam! Yeah, I absolutely love it.
And one more thing too. If you guys play fantasy football, Jado the Sports Guy Fantasy Football Challenge is available, baby. My first matchup I play against you, Darrell.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
I'm ready. And they gave you a 51% to win the matchup. I saw they doing me wrong.
Dude, give me some time. I gotta work some magic with the rosters. I'm gonna try to bump that up a little bit.
And we can do a few trades, man.
Now fellas, I hope you wrapping it up, Mr. Owens, because I gotta go watch this Western Conference Finals Game 6, man.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Game 6 is on right now. Can the Suns move on to the NBA Finals? That's what's happening right now. I'm Darrell Owens, Jeremiah Quimby, Cody Stewart, Clarence Nixson, and Trey Larkins of the Wise Guys Sports Show. Make sure you check them out. Until next time, everybody. Peace.
Peace.